Hey, what's up, dudes? I wanted to post this video because I really didn't find anything on YouTube myself, and I do a lot of surfing on YouTube to try to figure out how to do stuff. We do a lot of stuff ourselves here on the farm, but um, the golf cart behind me, it's a EZGO TXT. It's a 2000. I think it's pretty much the same from. I could be wrong, but it's somewhere between like 98 and 2006 or something like that. Anyways, we use it a lot around the farm. The kids learn how to drive on it. I mean, it's just a great utility thing all the way around. That being said, kids driving a car, they don't know when to check things, oil or whatnot. And sure enough, they ran out of oil. I mean, it's an older engine. It's 17 years now. So another reason for me posting this is probably a lot of these engines might start going. They ran out of oil. I got it unseized. It started running fine, or running okay. Didn't seem like any other symptoms. And then stopped running. I went in and checked a bunch of stuff. Pulled the filter off. The filter comes off and makes a pretty big hole in the bottom of the pan. And I was able to pull this out with my fingers. Usually not good news. It's a piece of the piston rod. Anyways, long story short, needs a new engine. Those ones are aluminum. They don't make them anymore. It's a Robin. I think it's a 295 cc. If you can find one, you'll find a remanufactured one for somewhere around 600, 700 bucks. Then you're paying a ton in shipping. I think the ones I saw were like 185 for shipping, and then another shipping of 185. So you're paying a pretty good amount. Other options I found. There's a company out of Vegas that specializes in carts, and they sell a conversion kit, so you can put a bigger motor on there. I don't necessarily need the bigger motor. I mean, the one that was on there, I believe, was a 9-horse. It did the job. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but definitely, I mean, I'm a dude. It'll take more power. I'll take that. But anyways, those conversion kits, the engines that it calls for is a 22 horsepower Predator out of Harbor Freight. And then there's a Briggs & Stratton. That's a 23 horsepower. And that conversion kit sells a clutch, whatever, switch out, so you can kind of gear the ratio of the gears a little better. Anyways, I'm still on the fence right now if I'm going to do that. It's probably the most economical because that Predator at Harbor Freight is $699 right now, so that's cheaper than I could get a remanufactured 9-horsepower engine that's just bare. Like, I got to basically strip this whole thing of all the external components and then put it back on when I get the new one. And they're all aluminum, so really remanufactured engine that's going out of style, can't get parts for it. Like, I'm kind of just destined to do the same thing again. So at this point, what I was planning on doing is just getting in there, taking everything out, seeing what I got to work with. Maybe walk over to Harbor Freight. I stopped by there today and the engine's out on display. I'll go over there and take some measurements here, and I'll go over there and measure out that engine and see what I'm looking at. I think it is a bigger engine for sure. It's probably looks like it's about 3 inches taller, maybe, but there's a little bit of playroom in this engine compartment as it is, so I could try to. I don't know. I'm just gonna see what I come with. Might end up doing the conversion kit. The conversion kit's kind of expensive. It's somewhere around $750. And really all it is a cradle and an exhaust, the different clutch, and some cables, some extended cables so you can reach around. I think some fuel lines. But yeah, hope it all goes good. You guys learned something from this? Awesome. right, dudes. Well, that concludes pulling the engine out. Nothing too tricky. Took me about an hour and a half maybe. Went through metric and standard, so have both handy. I slid a jack in there, if you didn't notice, about halfway through, just to hold the weight of the engine while I was getting a couple of those bolts out. Also, before I did that, I had the jack under the back end of it, just lifting the body a little bit so I could get on the creeper underneath a little easier, but you don't have to have that. Looking at the engine space, man, I don't know, that engine, that Predator engine at Harbor Freight, pretty big engine. So, I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards I might just end up getting that conversion kit. I mean, there's a couple other engines that I could maybe fit into there. Like they had a 13 horsepower at Harbor Freight, but it's not made for having like cable mounts and stuff. Like it's got a manual choke and everything, and just really wouldn't be the same type of setup. So I don't know. It's kind of expensive. I'd rather not be spending $1,400 on a new engine and everything. But in the end of it, I'm paying basically the same price that I would. Well, kind of. I mean, I'm paying more if I got to get the conversion kit, but if I got to replace the engine, I might as well put a bigger engine in there. It could have. It was a little gutless, so it could have used a bigger engine. But all right, I'll catch you guys on the next portion of this when I start going and looking or start putting in the conversion kit and whatnot. Take it easy, guys.